To start workshop 2, creating your new project, the synopsis or scenario that is given here says you're an employee of Wilson International and you're responsible for planning the bid preparation required to ensure that a response to a request for quote from Osbuild Party Limited is submitted on time. Now, while shortlisted, you've been advised that the request for quote will be available on December 7, 2015 at 8 a.m., and you will be required to submit 3 bound copies of the proposal before January 27, 2016 at 4 p.m. Generally, in this project, we're going to be using a lot of the 24-hour time format, but do keep in mind whenever you're working with an employer on contract or as a salary employee, they generally have the rules they work with. If they're keeping things by time, they probably will be working within the 12-hour time frame. So just that's just something to keep in mind. It says no. Okay, that's just personal. uh, Now we're gonna start creating a new project with the following information. You can select File, New to open the Create a New Project wizard. In this case, first I'm gonna make sure that there's no project open. I can see my close all is not highlighted, so there's no project open currently. I'm gonna go File, New, and it always brings up this wizard, which you can go through. And in this case, it says select an EPS. Now this is your enterprise project structure. Now just a little scenario with this. Your enterprise project structure is where you organize your projects. As you can see, these are nodes that we have currently on here. And under each node, you can create more nodes. Um, and then under the final node, you can actually organize the project underneath those. As you can see right here, we have different um, levels. We have our Osbuild projects, we have engineering and construction and different things right there. If I also click under IT, I have 2 different nodes underneath that, which is the line of business 1, line of business 2. That's just to keep things organized and separated. Going to click on line of business 1, and you can see we have different projects underneath that. If I click on the second, we have different projects underneath that as well. Now, one way to actually create um, the nodes and actually organize them is to go to enterprise project structure. And if you look here, we have different options from the start of it all, and just see it trickle down as it was created. Now you can either add a new one, and this is a totally separate one, or you can actually shift it underneath one by using the arrows or using your control and your arrow key or your keypad, and you can just change the information that you want underneath that. And that's how you create one. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this one. And that was how I created the Osbuild project. And then after doing that, I just added another one and put it underneath it and called it bids and bid project. So if you currently don't have this node, I will want for you to actually create this in your on your own system, because this is where we're actually going to create the new projects and organize things underneath. So I'm going to go ahead and close out. And we're going to start. Like it says, select the appropriate EPS node in your database to create the project or your nominated node when working in a shared database. So we're going to go File, New, and I'm going to go ahead and click on the option button and select the bid projects. Now this is telling the system that your project will fall underneath that. As I click next, we're going to give it a project ID and call it OZB. Now I currently do have another project underneath that was created in previous workshops, so I'll go ahead and delete that, and you will see this is a good way to actually see that you have to give each project a unique ID, or else it will just add a little thing to it. We'll see that currently. So for the project name, we're going to do bid for facility extension. Next. So we're just going to do -1. For the project plan start date, we're going to select December 7, 2015. 7. Make sure it's 2015. And make sure this says 8 a.m. So we're just going to put 08. And again, remember I said we're working in 24-hour time zone. So if I was to do 24, that would mean um, if I'm working in the 20s, then we're actually talking PM. So as of 08, we're talking AM. Select. And we're going to leave the must finish by blank. I'm going to select next. Responsible manager, we're just going to leave it as enterprise. Now, this is something that we do go in more depth in the second half of the workshop, where we're actually going to be using uh, resources, which include the roles and things of that nature. So I'm going to go ahead and click next. The rate type, we're going to accept standard rate. If you don't have standard rate, try to use the price per unit. Going to click next and going to hit finish. And if you can see, when I click that, here goes the project right there. Now, this is an example of 2 projects that we do create. We do one that doesn't include resources, and we'll actually learn how to actually manage that project without the resources. And we'll do another with resources and do some advanced scheduling as well. So I'm going to go ahead and actually delete these 2 right now, as I'm going to be creating a new one every workshop. And I'm going to keep this ID unique, OZB. Now, one thing I do want to show is a quick way to actually create is you can select the node that you actually want to put the project underneath, and you can hit the insert button on your keypad, and it will automatically do that for you. And if you cancel out of here, it takes it off, and you can repeat the same process that we just went over. Now we're going to ensure that the project is selected by clicking on it. Ensure also that you're in the projects window. Remember, this is your project node. And if you look up here, it shows that you're in the projects window. In the general tab, set the status to what if the project needs to be open to change the status. So if you look here in the status tab, we're going to change it to what if. And like it says, the project needs to be open in order for you to change the status. As you can see, I do have an option to close all. So that means this project was actually open. And while creating it, it went ahead and opened it as soon as we were done. So I'll show you guys an example. I'll go ahead and put it back to active. I'll also do file, close all, and have all the projects closed. And do remember, if you want to make changes to any project, you have to make sure that project is highlighted. As you can see here, I can't make any of that change. So I'm going to go ahead and open it by right-clicking, open, or selecting file, open. You're going to right-click open, or you can use Control O as well. And even though last time we didn't see the activities window, our project was still open. We just needed to actually go into it via clicking the activities tab. So I'm going to go to projects. I'm going to go ahead and change this to what if. As you can see, we have different options. We have active, which just shows the project is currently active. Inactive, meaning the project has been completed, or we just haven't put a plan together for it. And then planned, meaning this is our plan going forward, but we're not certain on it. What if is somewhat of a simulation, showing that if we actually did things this way, how will things turn out on the project? So for now, we're going to select what if. And then the dates tab, I'm going to go ahead and click in that. You can set the date to December 7, 2015 at 8 a.m. So we're going to go ahead and make sure the date is set. Usually your date is going to be set as same as the project plan start, unless you've actually made progress during the during the project. For the anticipated start, we're gonna go ahead and select December 7th, the same date. Make sure it's 2015, and make sure it's '08. You have to make sure your time matches the same as the workshop, or else you're gonna get different solutions to your project, and things will not match. So one thing about being a scheduler or working with Primavera is keeping an eye out for details and make sure to stay on top of your game. For the anticipated finish, this is just a planned finish or what we're hoping um, to get this done by is January 27th, 2016 at 4 p.m. We're going to use 16. Now, as you can see, prior to us creating this, we didn't have a bar here. Now I'm gonna double click in this Gantt chart area, and if you guys watch the previous video, you see when you double click in here, it'll bring the bars into view. So now we're gonna be seeing the bar showing the dates that we actually just entered for this project, and you can see the whole thing covers the entire node. So I'm gonna go ahead and minimize this again. We're going to add a notebook topic using a suitable topic such as constraints. So I'm going to go into my notebook. I'm going to add a notebook topic, and you can see constraints right there. I do want to show something. Now, if you wanted to add a notebook topic and you didn't see the specific topic you actually wanted here, a quick way to create a new one is to go into your admin categories, and you can see different options for things you can create. And you just go under notebook topics and actually add a new one. And when you add it, you can actually pick, where you want those options selected at, either under the EPS, the project window, the WBS, or the activities window. So we do have constraint in here, but if you don't have one, you can go ahead and create one yourself. So we're going to cancel out. We're going to go ahead and add constraints. Click out of here. And I'm going to go ahead and click modify to add a note. And the note is going to say RFQ will not be available prior to December 7, 2015. Click OK. And like I said, your project should look like this, just as we've created right there. If I was to actually make it wider, you can see that everything matches. And that concludes our second workshop, just how to create a project just starting from scratch. Like I said, we're going to be covering the other three over the course of the next 6 weeks, and there will be a new video for those every 2 weeks. Everyone have a blessed day.